Hey everybody, Andy Gideon here. Just wanted to start out by saying I really appreciate all your guys' views and all of you that have subscribed. The 2016 flying season is pretty much over, at least as far as flying events goes, at least up north here in Michigan. By no means am I done flying for the year. I plan on doing some flying off the snow. I'm all done with planes this size, but the season was really good. I didn't get as much footage as I would have liked. The beginning of this season was kind of rough for me. I just kind of, after 25 years, I kind of got a little burned out. But I think it was probably the beginning of July is when I really started feeling it again and started doing a lot more flying. But like I said, it was a great year, lots of good flying. But now we're entering building season, and let's see how many of you can guess which airplane this is. Obviously it's a T6, but this is a very old Byron Originals. It's 20 some years old. I bought it from a good friend of mine. Couldn't turn down the price. He knew I was interested for the past few years and finally got him to shoot me a price on it, and it was perfect. It's in pretty rough shape. It was flyable when I picked it up from him. It's gotten really dingy and beat up over the years. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I think everybody should just fly the dog piss out of their airplanes. You know, fly them. Don't just have them sitting in a garage or a basement or whatever and have them look pretty for life. They need to be flown, and this one was extensively flown. So this is my main project for this winter. I really don't plan on doing much building. After the Panther build last winter, I'm just not too in the mood to take on another project like that. And as you saw from the videos that I posted, the Panther has done very well this year. Flies fantastic. A couple problems, little problems, mainly with the paint. Of course, the flap servo that burned up, and I had to do surgery in one of the wing panels. That was a fiasco. But lots of issues with the paint. I probably will never do latex again. It works well for some people. It did not work well for me. So I just won't do it again. But this is like I said, this is my primary focus for this building season. Just doing a complete restoration. As you can see from the side here, I've already done a lot of sanding. I'm pretty sure this was painted with K&B Super Epoxy, because it was white originally and it has turned into a creamy yellow, which just tells me that it was painted with an epoxy paint, so probably the K&B Super Epoxy. Great paint, but it had, time pays its toll on that kind of paint. So I'm gonna paint this with just Rust-Oleum rattle can. The videos that I posted of my big Stearman, that's all painted with Rust-Oleum, and the finish is absolutely beautiful. The paint flowed out just better than I could have ever imagined, and it looks really nice. So this is gonna be, right now it is an AT6, but it will be done up in navy schemes. In a navy scheme, when I'm done, it'll be a dark blue, so it'll be an SNJ. But it's got the original G62 in the front with the Per Power exhaust system on it. Retracts work fantastic. So basically all I got to do is just sand it down. You can see some areas. I think it's on that side. It's mainly on the bottom, but I've touched up a couple areas, and I have a lot more to do, just with some Bondo, just to kind of feather some things out, because it's an all composite airplane. It's all fiberglass. So I'm not going to detail it to the point where it's super scale. I don't plan on competing with it by any means. I just want a fun airplane to fly, and I've always had a love affair for the T6. I really enjoy flying these airplanes, mainly because they fly extremely well. They're very aerobatic, but yet they're very difficult. In a way, it's kind of like a Cub. They're an easy airplane to fly, but not necessarily easy to fly well. They have sneaky bad habits. But if you remember beginning of the season with my Hellcat, when I flew that and it tipped over on landing, that's one of those prime examples. I love that airplane because it does not fly well. This I can guarantee will fly a lot better, but I like airplanes that have some bad habits. It kind of keeps you on your toes. But I'll keep you posted. I'll do some more videos throughout the winter time, showing the progress on this and a few other things. I guess I'll come around and grab you real quick and show you what else has been going on. So I've already started removing some of the graphics, and you can clearly see that's what it used to look like. That's what it is now. Pretty nasty. I've pulled off some of the detail parts, and you know, a lot of work to do. The canopy is pretty much shot. I can probably repair it, but I'll probably end up just buying a Zeroli because it's same size. You know, look inside, everything is all original. Of course, I'm gonna yank the gas tank, but all the servos are in good shape. I cycled the gear, everything works good. So pretty excited. Finally got myself a nice big T6. So let's see, what else has been going on? I've already made some repairs on the cowl. The last time it was flown, it was nosed over on landing, and the cowl was damaged quite a bit on the bottom. So what I did is I try to get this thing here. So I glassed the inside just on the bottom part of the front of the cowl, and ran a nice coat of resin on the outside so I can sand this nice and smooth, do some filling where I need to, and that'll be nice and solid again. Perfect. And oh, what's that? That's something new. Back in September, I started buying it from a friend of mine. I'm a very poor maintenance man, so I don't make very much money. So to buy a plane like this doesn't just happen by opening up my billfold and handing over the cash. So I ended up picking this up last month. It's a 35% Cardin Extra. Got it for a pretty attractive price. I got it with the airframe and the servos, putting in my own engine and the rest of the electronics. It's got a DLE 111 in it. Awesome running engine. Same type engine I have in my big Cub that you've seen in my air show routines. So that'll be fun for flying next year. Since I've gotten heavily into warbirds, I kind of got away from my aerobatic stuff. So I don't know, been deprived of a big aerobatic airplane, so I wanted a new one. And what can you do better than a Cardin Extra? I mean, really, they fly fantastic. You might have seen a couple shots of this just in my shop. This is also a Byron Originals Pitts, all styrofoam airplane. It's covered in Econocoat, which I'd never recommend using because the stuff, as you can see right here, it starts to fade and turn colors. But this is all styrofoam. Fuselage, tail, wings, everything is styrofoam. Now what's unique about this particular Pitts is this is one of the original 100 shipped in 1979 from Byron Originals. So that's something to be proud of right there. I got this airplane from a friend of mine who has since passed, and it had sat for at least 15 years untouched in his garage. I picked it up for $20. It was just a basket case. Restored it, flew it for about 2 years, and 3 years ago retired it. I put all the equipment in my Sig Bravo. But now that a friend of mine, Rich Eggleston, who's the one that's responsible for me building that, told me he's building a third scale pits. So I said, hey, why not? I'll get mine back in the air. So went online, got a nice used DLE 55, which is what I originally had in the airplane was a 55, but I didn't feel like taking the equipment back out of the Bravo. So that's just about ready to go. Just need to put the gas tank in it, and that'll be ready for flying. Also, I picked up a quarter scale Bucher Youngmeister. Once again, I'm a sucker for a good deal. Yeah, I need an airplane like I need a bullet in the head. I mean, I got tons of planes, so. But I'm really excited about getting that flying. They fly fantastic. Just kind of that was the aerobatic airplane of its day before the beginning of the pits. So yeah, looking pretty forward to that. It's going to be a nice flying airplane. The Stearman has been giving me some issues. The plane flies great. The first flight didn't go extremely well, and then as you saw from the... Was it the first flight? Yeah, the first flight is when the wheel came off, so yeah, it didn't go very well. There were some, I wouldn't say balance issues. I think the plane was balanced fine, but it definitely benefited adding more nose weight. So I ended up putting 3 pounds in the nose, which helps a couple of the bad characteristics of the airplane. And a little bit of mixing on the transmitter. And now it's flying fantastic, but I'm having engine problems. So trying to get those figured out. Very old 3W140. What I'm going to end up doing this winter is rebuilding the engine from the crankcase back. So new reeds, new phenolic block, possibly a new carburetor. So hopefully we'll be able to do some more flying with that next year. Fingers crossed. And now that it's winter time, I'm blowing the dust off my old Ace Seamaster. Probably one of the best airplanes for flying off snow. Yeah, fun airplane. Love that thing. Let's see. Don't think there's anything new. Oh, might be interested in this. We'll get to you in a second. In 2010, I designed this airplane. It's basically a Quickie 500 type design. It's called the Diamondback. Pretty much drew it on a napkin and went from there. It's based off a plane that a guy I used to fly with years ago when I was a kid. He designed this airplane, essentially, but no longer exists. The plans no longer exist, so I went by some pictures and some videos and built my own, just a fun airplane, fun sport plane. Then about 3 years ago, I shrunk down the plans that I made for a 400 size Diamondback. So, kind of neat. If you're into the electric stuff, I'm not too big into it anymore. I used to be really big into electrics. So, kind of fun. And I think that about does it. Not much else going on. Gonna do some more sanding on this tonight. Yeah, it's gonna be quite a workout to get this thing ready to go. Hope everybody enjoyed the video I posted last weekend for a November weekend. It was extremely comfortable outside, being in the 60s, upper 60s. This weekend I'm hoping to get some more flying. Not sure if that's going to happen. It's supposed to be in the 50s, but it's also supposed to be breezy. So the only thing worse than flying in the cold is flying when it's windy and cold. So we'll see how that goes. If I can get some other guys wanting to go out and fly, then we'll make it happen. So I'll get back to this, and we'll have another video up pretty soon. Later.